Alright, here we go. My name is Don Monroe, first time video blogger. Just a little bit about me. I'm 40 years old, married, got an amazing family. Maybe talk about them a little bit more. But I'm going to get right into what I want to talk about today. I'm going to try to keep this to about 7 minutes or so. But one of the things I want to talk about today and go after is people who are living in a cave. That emotional cave where you live inside yourself. Where we're living pretty discouraged, depressed, disappointed, disillusioned with life where we're at, because deep down inside us we know there's more, and we just have given up. And so I want to go after some of you who are living in that cave, in that place of hopelessness, tell you a little bit of my story, and hopefully that'll encourage you, give you a little bit of light, to start moving some rocks around so you can start to dig your way out of your cave and live up to the awesome potential and that's locked inside of you. So my story goes back 48 years, but I'm going to just go back to this past fall where I went into the cave for the last time. Hopefully the last time I go back into the cave. Was tried to set up some reset buttons so I don't go back in there again. And what happens is, for me, when I had to go into that cave, was I start believing those thoughts and those lies, those self-limiting beliefs that say that I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, all the reasons why I can't do those things that I'm passionate about, that my heart desires and longs to do. I believe these self-limiting lies, and then what happens is that person starts to get depressed, discouraged, and disillusioned, and you just shut down emotionally because it's hard. It's like you've died inside, because you don't believe that what you were really put here on this earth to do will ever happen, because there's this, seems like everything is against you. And so I just want to encourage you that those are lies, and we need to discover who put those lies into us and are they true or not. For me, one of the lies was that I was never going to be good enough, and that comes from my childhood. Nothing against my parents or my family. This is my perspective, and I'm sure that everybody in my family would have a different story of the same situation. But anyway, my natural dad was never around. He took off. I was raised by a stepdad the best that he could do. But I was always told that I was never good enough, that I was never smart enough. And when you're a little kid, you begin to believe that lie. And at 40 years old, still carry that lie and fight that lie. But I'm hoping that it's dealt with once and for all. Because the truth of the matter is that I am good enough and you are good enough. And anything contrary to that is a lie. And what that lie caused me to do and causes us to do is to live below our potential. And whenever we live below our potential, that potentially puts us in the emotional cave of disillusionment and discouragement, because we know there's more inside us. But we just have a hard time moving forward to that, because we got to deal with our stuff. And I think one of the hardest things that the emotional cave is that we have to deal with our stuff in that cave. And when I go into that cave, man, I go in there with dynamite, set it at the entrance and explode it off, and I sit there in total and utter darkness. And it is a place of deep depression and darkness and loneliness and fear. And I can be in that place, yet still have this awesome, amazing group of people around me who believes in me and encourages me. But because I don't believe in myself, it doesn't matter what other people say. So for us to live outside that cave, we need to really start to believe in us, in our potential for greatness. And it doesn't matter, I think we got a warped view of what greatness is, but living to our full potential. And so this last time got so bad that Krista, I was laying on the bed one day and she came to me and said, are you gonna kill yourself? And I'm like, no, I don't need to kill myself, because I am already dead. I was dead emotionally, and that was a horrible place for my family, and it's a horrible place for me. But it's scary to come outside that cave and begin to risk again, to risk being disappointed, risk being disillusioned, because nothing seems to be happening to be propelling us towards our goal and our destiny and our passion in life. And so for me, what's happened in the past is I have a vision out here of doing amazingly great things and I'm right here. And over a period of time, if nothing seems to be happening, what I have a tendency to do, and maybe you do too, is I lower my expectations of where I want to be and the things I want to accomplish. And the minute I do that, that's when more self-doubt and everything comes in. It's not going to happen. I can't achieve it because I don't have enough money. Nobody, for whatever reason, there's a myriad of excuses. And then you get discouraged, and then you turn and head towards a cave and say, I can't do this. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm no longer going to lower the expectations of where I believe that I should be in my life, despite my circumstances, despite my situations, and despite what everything around me tells me that nothing is happening. I have to believe that something is happening, and I need to make choices every day that are going to move me towards where I want to be. And I'm learning that just because there's a delay from where we are to where we want to be, that doesn't mean anything or nothing is happening. I don't know if you're like me, I'm kind of the impatient type. When I'm working on a computer and I hit some buttons and that swirly thing shows up, well, I start banging on it over and over and over again because it's not moving fast enough, and I get impatient and it takes a lot longer. So delay doesn't mean that nothing is happening. It just means there's a delay. Or maybe you've got in the shower and turned the water on, waiting for it to get hot. It doesn't get hot, so you crank it hot and it burns yourself, and you turn it back to cold and you freeze because there's that adjustment period. And so I'm determined that we shouldn't get discouraged between the delay and the results phase of what we're looking for, and to continue to move forward and press forward into that. So I'm just about out of time here. I said I was only going to talk 7 minutes. So I'm probably going to pick this up on the next video as well. Continue to talk about emotional caves and moving towards our destiny. So I guess a little bit of homework is to identify some of those things that hold you back, that are not true. Whether they come from your parents, whether they come from your school teachers, whether they come from your significant other. Identify those lies and say, I am no longer going to align my life with these lies. I'm going to identify and align myself with the truth. And from my perspective and what I'm choosing to believe that people are awesome. Inside of every one of us is the potential to make a huge difference in this world. And we need every one of us living to our full potential and not settling because the world and our circumstance and situation says that we need to settle. So on that note, never settle, always challenge the status quo and move forward. And one day, we're going to be walking in the awesomeness that we were called to be. So until next time, thanks. My name is Don Monroe. Check out my Facebook page, Don Monroe. I'm going to be putting a thought for the day on there. I may even change that to Don's Thoughts. But anyway, look for that. And hey, find someone who believes in you and listen to what they have to say. Share your heart with somebody and build that trust. Take risks and good things will happen. Thanks for watching.